It was on all of the dead people that I created. All of the people that I killed. None. I've never killed anybody. My dad, he's not far from here. I went over to his house to try to get evidence, not hurt people. My dad, he is one of them people who will go out of his way to try to twist your words to play victim. Whereas I saved the words in specific for a reason, so I could show that they do these things. See, when my dad was doing that, my dad and I have had an issue for my entire life. As an adult, he just didn't give a shit. He held a grudge over a situation where he had beaten on me for the third time over an FNPE, and I called the cops on him. We have not gotten along since, as much as I've tried. And he brings that up. He brings a lot of shit up like that. Like the fact that I should be on disability and I should have tried harder. Everybody says that. I should have tried harder. They don't see my efforts, so it means I must not be making them. It's fucking absurd. So, I was through Montana twice this year. I was in Bozeman. The first time, I stopped to get evidence. The second time, well, I was pretty well just stranded. But I didn't attempt to go see any of those people. I didn't want to see Jenny. I didn't want to see Miss Jerry. I didn't want to see Amanda. I wanted them to tell the truth, and they didn't want to do it. And I saved proof. I got proof from Amy Valkyrie that I'm telling the truth about that post. That post that they all ganged up on me in. There's a reason that they were out of my life. My mother, she likes to pretend like I threatened her too. And that, right there, that got her banned from my life. She wanted to pretend like I was threatening her because I told on her about her cocaine habit. And she went around town and said whatever it is that she had to say in order to hide the fact that she was doing cocaine and that everything that happened that night with her and Doug Cowden, that's the guy who raped Rayanne Ingersoll, by the way. Well, Doug Cowden later died in prison, but not until after he'd ripped me off for about $3,000 and plus not paying me about $3,000. He owed me a lot of money when he died. Owed me a lot of money when he went to prison. It's difficult for me to get these people to help because my dad, I mean, shit. He don't fucking care. He's got too many things to hide. And now they're out in the open. You know, really the thing that he should do is exactly what he told me to do. Dad, you need to man up. You sold the cocaine. You sold that officer an illegal firearm. You went to prison for a reason. You were in prison because you chose to sell illegal firearms and illegal drugs. That's why you went to prison, Brian Schwartz. You need to man up and fess up to your shit. And these people who are hiding all these things want to tell me about how I need to man up. A lot of people with a history of abusing me. Now, there's a lot of people that don't have any history of abusing me. Miss Peaches never abused me, not even once. Mandy Hughes never abused me, not even once. Alyssa Rainwater never abused me, not even once. Now, Alyssa and Mandy might have lied to me a time or two. I don't know. That's going to have to be up to a jury. But if I never make it to a jury trial, then I'm going to continue to speak out against them and the things that the police did to them. Because that's the thing. Just because they couldn't get the job done doesn't mean that they weren't trying. They were trying. Many of us were trying. But in order for me to get all of the information squared up and organized and sent out, I need a safe environment, and I haven't had one since Natalie disappeared. I mean, Ken and Leah's, believe it or not, was a reasonably safe environment. Just because I wasn't in the house, I moved out to the garage, and I stayed in the garage. And for the most part, Ken and Leah left me alone. When Ken went to work, Leah would do her thing for a few hours in the morning, and then she'd come and ask me for help with stuff that I literally should not have been attempting. But as far as the case goes, and my access to evidence, and my access to all those cards, like the ones from Nicole Peralta, and like I went to probably 30 or 40 appointments over the course of 2017 to Nicole Peralta and to go see Tamara. Like, you people telling me that I need to go see a therapist, I was seeing a therapist. That didn't stop any of these people from victimizing me, from threatening me, from harassing me, from preventing me from seeing my loved ones. It didn't get me an honest day in court. With my mom and my dad playing victim, you know, that's something that my entire adult life I've had an issue with, because everything that I was put through as a child, I was put through because they weren't allowed to have their kids, and they weren't allowed to have their kids because of decisions that they made. My mom, I found out that she was doing cocaine way back in high school. But later on in life, she tried to use that whenever she'd lose an argument, because she's highly intelligent. She's very good at manipulating, but she can't do that to me. I'm too smart for her to do that. So she'd pull any fucking nasty little trick she could to try to make me feel bad because she lost an argument. Like, she'd pretend she has irritable bowel syndrome, and she would literally shit herself if she was losing an argument and go, "You made me shit myself." Like, are you fucking crazy, lady? Well, yeah, she is. My mom needs to be committed. She should have been committed a long time ago. But between helping her son, just by coming forward and telling the truth, or going to my grandpa's, my grandpa raped her growing up, by the way. Between helping out her own son and going to her predator, she went to her predator because he had money and she wants that money. The thing is, just her testimony alone would be enough to get me a day in court to be able to sue these people and make a lot more money than Grandpa has ever even thought about. That's how many screwed up fucking cases happened here. And the fact that these officers and the Bollingers were conspiring and working together in order to frame me means that there's a lot of different places I can sue. And for each one of those, I should be able to get enough to make quite a few of those little castles I was telling you about. And have places all over the United States where Chloe Pachovas, hopefully, will be able to have her co-op idea. She wants to help people. If we don't help the homeless people to get unhomeless, then we don't get to victimize them for being homeless. I think that's a no-brainer. I literally cannot function. I can barely sleep. All day, every day. Those things that happen to me go through my head. I am fucking scared shitless of the police. When you try to turn in a police officer, the first thing they do is treat you like you're crazy and do whatever it takes to either have you committed or have you arrested. You're hysterical trying to give them a report, and they just don't give a shit. They already decided that you're the bad guy and you're going down, and there's nothing you can do to convince them otherwise. Alicia Bollinger is pretty, so she must be right. Meanwhile, I got evidence on all her family about their antics, their druggy tactics, their addictive history and past, their abusive past towards Natalie in specific even. But the police don't care about that. They don't care about the harassment that both Natalie and I incurred, because people just wanted to have their own goddamn opinions over a situation that was none of their business. It was two grown-ass adults who were friends, who were both in similar fucked up situations, with similar fucked up families and similar fucked up family issues. Natalie was my friend because we both grew up in hell.